There's no shortage of scoring in the NBA. Don't get me wrong, scoring is cool and it's fun to watch good players score, but it's gotten too far. And trust me, I'm not one of those old heads that are like, they're shooting too much threes now. I mean, I believe that 53s combined is kind of crazy, but still, I'm not going to be that guy. But for the past few years, there's been a lot of scoring. And this isn't all about scoring. I mean, it's about rules that can fix the NBA. And it's not just scoring, but it's a big part of it. I make it a point to watch at least 2 NBA games a day. So I watch a lot of this league. And there's tons of glaring issues. It's not all issues, though. I mean, the reason I love the NBA, I love basketball, and it's basketball, so it's pretty fun to watch. But if these issues get fixed, or not even fixed, just get a slight tweak to make them a bit better, I feel like the NBA would be a way better league. There's a reason that the NFL is pouring more of a consistent view base than the NBA. Some people just like football better, but I know some people who love basketball but refuse to watch the NBA. They say stuff like the players are too soft, they shoot too many threes. And that stuff is right. And that's mainly what I want to go over. Because even though someone like me might not have an issue watching, I can definitely see why some people might have an issue. Especially with college basketball, because I'd agree that college basketball is more exciting. March Madness, I've been having the time of my life this year. And I think a lot of basketball fans are too. Anyway, I think this introduction is getting too long, so without further ado, here's 5 NBA rules that can fix the NBA. First rule is changing the shot clock. Not by a lot, but I'd recommend changing it from 24 seconds to 30 seconds. I know that offense can still be fast and they don't even have to use the first 30 seconds, but that's how it is also with the 24 seconds. But I feel like this will make the teams shoot less shots. An extra 6 seconds might actually make a big difference in what play you want to run. Also, college basketball uses a 30-second shot clock, and they usually use that 30 seconds. Anyway, I don't really have much to say on this one because, again, the only really flaw is that they don't have to use a full shot clock, and that's not really a flaw. That just, they can ignore it. So this one, I feel like would just be a positive addition to the NBA with little risk and possibly high reward. My second rule is to limit the amount of threes a team can shoot. Now this could be a hot take because the three ball is really important in the NBA right now, and I feel like some people might be overreacting. It's not like the teams are just running around chucking up 3-point shots. That wouldn't be fun to watch. But I do agree, sometimes it gets a bit out of hand. 53s by both teams combined is outrageous. So I'd say limit them to 10 threes a half. Because the 3-point shot was kind of made for teams that are down, or a reaction for if you can't get a 2-pointer. But if you're down by 15, you can't just be chucking up threes. I know that usually doesn't happen, but I've seen it happen a couple times. And if you can't get a 2-pointer, then maybe you can kick it back out and restart. And if you score all 10 threes, that's 30 points right there. And if you slip up and shoot an 11th three in the half, then that would be a technical foul. Because this can make the game way more exciting. Because if a team's on fire from 3, then they can just take a huge lead and it ends up in a blowout. So there'd be less blowouts. And also, there can be more low-scoring, grinded-out games, which are always very fun to watch. And 43s is still a lot of threes, but that's a good limit for a team. Because again, 53s is still insane. Anyway, my third rule is to limit defensive restrictions. You're telling me these NBA guys have worked their bodies to almost the pinnacle of human strength, or at least some of them, but they can't withstand a single reach. I think reach and foul should still exist, but they shouldn't be as frequent. And also, there's being a lot of fouls called in the current NBA, and I'm not one of those people that are saying Shea's a foul baiter. I think he's just smart. But, with less defense restrictions, there will be a lot more defense, and it will be a lot more fun to watch. And I'm not one of those people that say the NBA plays no defense. I think they play defense. It's just harder to guard modern offenses. And I don't want it to be like the 80s, early 90s level of physicality where like Bill Laimbeer was stomping out Michael Jordan. But just let it be more physical. And another thing is, the players might get injured, and that if the star's out, then a lot less money. Well, my argument to that is people will probably find the NBA way more exciting watching these games with a lot more physical defense, that there's probably hardly going to be a difference if one of the stars get out. And again, these guys basically have peak human bodies. They should not be getting injured. I think they're just a bit dramatic at times. Of course, there's justified injuries, but if you're able to play, you just, like, a game time decision, I guess if you don't feel right to play, but I feel like a few players just sit out just for the break. And if you like save up your money to watch an NBA game, like wanting to see one of the stars, and then he's out just because, he like hurt his toe or something, you're gonna be disappointed. But I'm going to a Spurs game in like a month, and De'Aaron Fox and Wemby are both out for the season, and I understand those. Both of them are understandable injuries. But I'm talking if like you just like have a hurt something, like if your leg is sore, you should still play through that. And I feel like this is a perfect way to segue to my rule number 4, load management. Load management isn't as bad as it was a few years ago in the NBA. Like when the Clippers would sit out Kawhi for like 10 games when he had nothing wrong with him. But it's still kind of bad. So I think you should keep load management to a minimum. And the NBA is already trying to fix this, which I give them props for, because you save up money just for the star to not be playing when he has nothing wrong with him. That's just disappointing. Again, if they're actually injured, I understand. But some players aren't injured and they're still sitting out just for a little rest. And you look at a guy like Mikal Bridges, who's never missed an NBA game in his career. That's very impressive. And at the end of the day, these guys get paid to play basketball. And do you think like a 9 to 5 worker, whenever they want to, just gets to skip work? No. So NBA players shouldn't either. So I propose a solution to fix this problem. And my proposition is to limit them to 5 games that they can load manage in. And also, if they're not sitting out because of an injury, they should still play the first half. Because they're still players that people want to go see. So let them see you for at least a half. Anyway, that's going to be the video for today. And let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. And again, I don't hate the NBA. I actually really enjoy watching it. But it's just my few problems that, I think can be easily fixed. If you enjoyed this video, maybe leave a like and possibly subscribe. I'm not forcing you. Anyway, goodbye.